And we are live. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I hope the sound is working because I did set it right, and I had a little tester to see if it was working. So yes, let's just hope for the best because for some odd reason my system set the input down to 30%, and it keeps changing on screen now. I've got it set to 100, then it keeps changing it for some odd reason. So yeah, I don't know why it does that. We got PJ Cruikshank in. How are you doing, mister? PJ? I am online, I hope.
Sorry, it's me. I was muted. Dude, sorry, I was sitting there talking. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It does sound a lot better as well. I was saying I was fishing earlier. I got 3 bites, no catches. My mate got a carp and 4 roach. Done nothing. Felt like leaving in a huff, like sulking in that one of them.
Yeah. Charlie Walsh said, yeah, spelled 2 wrong flats. Yeah, you're correct. It was supposed to be 00. But I love doing these things though, so we can get the people that have GPS problems. Grammar prudentially syndrome or something like that. They have issues in people's grammar and spelling. It's an actual mental illness. Do you know that?
What is?
GPS.
GPS?
Yeah, they call it GPS. It's grammar prudential syndrome.
Oh, right, okay, got you.
So where they have issues with people's spelling and grammar all the time. It kind of irritates them. It's like almost like an OCD kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm a bit bad when it comes to doing text. With text and that, you're just meant to do kind of shorthand kind of thing. But I'm a bit mad when it comes to punctuation and grammar and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But you see, today most people would just type in slang and stuff. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope the sound is doing okay, guys. Is the sound okay on the side for you, PJ?
It sounds okay for me. Absolutely fine for me.
I hope for everybody else it's fine. Like I said, I did do a test stream beforehand to see if it works. I already got 67 votes, guys. Am I too hard on Mark with the 1-0? Yes, 73%. No, 27%. Why are the people so sad that I'm hard on him? I'm not hard enough on him, I think.
Yeah, I don't think.
Because he's a grown man. I mean, he's claiming to be this expert and stuff on debating against people. So I don't think you can be too hard on a person.
He's the one who was kind of talking down. He was the one who was all biscuit ass.
Yeah, he was all condescending the whole time and ad-homing and talking over me.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to say hi to everybody in chat. PJ Cruikshank, good to see you. Terrap AM, good to see you. Peanut, hello. Barbara, MHC. Moxie, Oxford Spirit. Charlie Walsh. And Face Reality, hello mate, good to see you too. Richard G, thank you for coming. Disc Error, The Price of Adam, and The Jolly Man. It's great to see you guys, thank you for coming. The Audio K, PJ Echo. It's just, they say you got an echo though.
I've got an echo.
So I'm going to put you a bit soft on my side. Because guys, I'm just waiting to get my earphones. I should be ordering it end of the week with my green screen. And then the echo problem should be resolved. So yeah. But I'm glad the sound is a bit sorted and it's going a bit better. So I was thinking we can start the video around this part. Because I was thinking I might have to delete the first part. And maybe just make a video out of it, like a a commentary video out of it, so that people can actually hear what the hell I was saying, because that's how soft it was. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Black Circle, it's good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Good to see you. Okay, so let's get going because I only have till 11 o'clock again, because damn power outage. You know how it works. It sucks. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Okay, so I just explained to you in very simple terms why we have pressure gradients. Now, I'm still asking you, please demonstrate gas pressure without containment.
Yeah, so this is weird because you basically said, oh, mountains and things like that are what causes the pressure gradient, which is one of the most ridiculous statements I've ever heard in my entire life. Mountains and people and the ground and telephone poles, I guess, and there's more area up the top, so that's why it occurs. There is no sort of temperature that will cause this gradient. The simple fact that you cannot produce any kind of documentation or any kind of calculation to show that temperature will produce this gas gradient rather than gravity is kind of ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there quickly. It's very simple. You have P1 volume 1 and then P2 volume 2 in the same system. AKA, on the bottom you have more things for the gas to hit, so there's more collisions. The more collisions, the more the pressure. The higher you go up, the volume has increased because there's less to hit off of, so AKA less collisions. He seems to think it's only got to do with pressure, temperature. It hasn't just temperature. Pressure changes, volume changes, temperature changes. They're all interlinked to each other. It's a dynamic system. That's something the guy doesn't understand. Why is it colder closer to the sun? Because there's less less gas. That's why.
And it also seems to indicate that...
well, let's explain it this way. It's not because there's less gas. It's more along the lines of there is more open area and there is already a finite amount of gas there. So it gets heated up, but the volume is so great that the temperature change is insignificant to cause a pressure increase as much as somewhere where there's more gas. If that makes sense to you guys. Hey Derek Nelson, thank you for coming, mate. Good to see you. They're saying there's still an echo, PJ.
Good news. I mean, I can go in. Okay, come back in and see if
no, but they're saying it's on. No, but not from you though. They're saying it's from the video. You guys, is it bad, the echo, or I don't know. It's
I'll go out and come back in and see what happens.
shot. Hey Nathan Oakley, good to see you, mate. I'm glad you can. Nathan had an awesome show today, guys. Do go back and watch Nathan's show today on FED. It was great. Keep up the great work, Nathan. Glad you could make it.
You made it. Hello. Am I still echoing?
Yeah, we know there's an echo, mate. I don't know. Let me see if I can quickly sort something out. Let's see if I can do it this way, maybe. Okay, talk quickly. See if there's an echo now.
Hello, am I echoing?
Is echoing going? Echo on video and PJ. I hope it's off now. I'm not sure. Just change some settings again. Hi Mandela Effect, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. It's not terrible echo, though noticeable. Okay, I'm going to try play quickly and then we're going to see if it's going to echo some more. Hey Rachie, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Let's see.
You don't understand what the gradient is.
By the way, guys, the echo is already on the video itself, so there is a little bit of echo. It's just so you guys know.
You just got to fade out again.
Okay, Derek Nelson says miles better. Okay, cool. So we'll leave it like this till now. Yeah. Peanut says, makes no sense. Highest atmospheric pressure measured was in a cold place. Yeah, is that cold place at a lower altitude, Peanut? Like at ground level? Where there's a higher concentration of gas collisions? Hey, better than gold too. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I heard PJ said your channel got a strike today. I'm not sure what happened, mate. I'm happy you got a backup channel. Hopefully you get that strike sorted out. There's unfortunately some things that's being pushed that we're not allowed to have free speech on.
It's ridiculous.
So unfortunately those things do happen, but I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you, mate. Let's carry on with the demolishment of Mark Reid.
You have much more air at lower altitudes than you do at higher altitudes, right?
Yeah. Avogadro is constant. I explained it.
No, you didn't explain it because you didn't actually say how it occurred. You just made a claim that it is something that makes it and then blamed it on mountains and the ground, which is a weird statement because the pressure gradient doesn't just go from mountains and then quickly go into a small gradient. There's a gradient, so it goes all the way up, getting thinner and thinner and thinner as it goes up. But none of this sort of says why NASA is being deceitful at all, because your entire argument seems to want to shift it into, oh, well, I'm going to prove that Earth is flat, which is...
Hey, Star Energy, good to see you. No, like I said, from the beginning of the stream, on this debate, Mark has simply gone and stated, flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth, where we weren't even debating flat Earth to begin with. We were debating, is NASA deceitful? He opens his opener with attacking flat Earth and not even having anything in the actual topic on why NASA's not deceitful. I mean, saying we should trust them doesn't mean they're not deceitful. That just means you're saying we should trust someone. You can trust someone who's deceitful or not. It doesn't change the fact if they're deceitful. My main argument for this whole debate was that the place they are stating to go to makes them deceptive because it violates the first law of thermodynamics and the second law of thermodynamics. We've already been through the first law of thermodynamics with Mark. He couldn't get that nothing cannot create anything. He doesn't get that for a quantum collapse, for a quantum field to collapse, you require energy. Where does that energy come from for it to collapse? It's based off of wave function collapse, and wave function collapse needs energy to happen. Unfortunately, Mark doesn't have the, chutzpah to understand this very simple fact. Sandcastle means there's sand. That's as simple as that. Thank you, Godzilla37. Thank you for coming. Good to see you, mate. $7 super chat. Not even close. You are way too nice to these guys. You guys. Mark is an arrogant POS. Yeah, that's what I asked in the beginning. It's like, people are telling me, yes, I'm too hard on him. I was like, no, I don't think I'm hard enough on him. He's a grown-ass man. If he could go through the whole debate, straw-manning me, ad-homing me, and, just going on with fallacies left, right, and center, I think I'm more than very nice to him. I didn't once really try to overtalk him. I wasn't mean to him. I didn't call him names. But I was very honest with him at the end and said I was really disappointed because I thought I'm going to have a bit of a challenge. Because, he's supposed to be the man. But he left me lacking that challenge of the debate, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Flatzoid, can I ask, have you seen any of my videos? Because I believe I have good explanation of what the firmament is. Yeah, I've seen some of them. I actually wanted to ask you, would you like to come and present sometime, Mandela? I think that people find it very, very interesting. So let me know. We can set up a stream that you can come and present your firmament videos and stuff, because I think it's really interesting stuff. Better than gold. Mark is pissing me off. He's a real deceiver and a time into a sass, which proves he's tood. Yeah, the thing is, if I put it in a nice way, he's a condescending prick.
Yeah.
That's about it. But
that's why I thought condescending, without a doubt.
But he's got a big ego, and he's very, very delusional, thinking he actually has knowledge on subjects, which he clearly doesn't. In this debate, he says gas has no behavior.
Somebody believe in flat Earth. He's definitely got a big dome, isn't he?
He literally says gas has no behavior. He told me twice, with backup confirmation, that if it's a closed system, you can't have any pressure gradients. And then he goes and, after making that claim twice, actually gives me an argument that it does because there's two different gases. You understand? It's like, don't you see yourself contradicting? But he doesn't get that. Yeah, Kling Lightning, I definitely think we're going to get Mandela on some time to present that, because he does have some awesome work.
isn't the topic of the debate. So you're just doing a dodge and switch. So explain why NASA is being deceitful, because the onus is on you. You have to. I'm basically saying, hey, they believe what they say. They believe that the Earth is round. They aren't lying about it. You're saying they're lying about it. Prove that they're lying about it. Don't ask me for proof.
Like I said, I did prove it. The first law and second law of thermodynamics. It shows it's impossible to go where they go. They claim to go to that place that violates natural law. Therefore, they're lying. And I mean, I did explain also with compartmentalization. There's a lot of people that believe it's true. They are not the deceivers. They believe they're doing the right work. I built this bolt for the Apollo capsule, or I did the wiring, or I painted the flag. You know what? That kind of rubbish. It doesn't make them deceivers. They believe they did it. That's compartmentalization. That's part of controlling the masses, governing the minds. The people that are lying are the hierarchy of NASA itself and the astronauts. Yeah, the astronauts, the ones that claim to be in a place they know they are not. Those are the liars. The person working down on Earth in a computer, watching a computer screen saying, oh, I'm just watching this data and I'm reading this data and it seems to be working out. They believe it 100% in their heart. That doesn't make them deceptive. The people that are deceptive are the ones doing the show, the ones that know it's wrong and are doing it still. They are the deceivers. Therefore, NASA as a whole is deceptive. That was their argument.
By natural law, they're lying about it. You require containment. Otherwise, entropy will increase and it will move into the surrounding system. Now, again, you've obfuscated. Remember, they're lying because we are in a closed system. They are saying we're going out of that closed system into space. Now, to have an open system adjacent to another system, the higher pressure will always equalize to the lowest system. I've explained the reason why we have lower moles. It's called Avogadro's law. It's the Boltzmann constant. Okay, I've given you reasons. Now I'm waiting for you to show how you can have gas pressure out containment, because NASA's deceitful because they know you need containment and they're claiming to go through that containment that has no boundary. So that's why they're
So here's the thing. You keep quoting natural law, and gravity is a part of that natural law.
Actually, gravity is not a natural law, guys. Gravity is just a theory. The acceleration, the constant, is a quote-unquote natural law. But that's still just a belief. Giving the name gravity a constant doesn't make it gravity. The acceleration could be due to unicorn pixie farts. It doesn't matter. It's just the name given, and because they're given the same name as their beloved gravity, they think gravity is now a law. No, mate. Gravity is only a theory, and it's not even scientific to begin with. The acceleration we observe is a natural law because things have a tendency to accelerate downwards if it is denser than the medium around it. But then again, it also accelerates upwards when it's less dense than the medium around it. Hey, FE Nation, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. What a stupid question. If space doesn't exist, where are the planets and stars? What planets? It's called stars and wandering stars. They are in the firmament. What we see, aka you can call space, is there. We can see something. But what it's portrayed as, a vacuum, a ultra vacuum as they place it, is not what we're being taught. Again, the universal law of gravitation constant is the natural law, Peanut, not gravity itself. Learn your own religion, please.
You're just trying to change what the natural law is so it does not include gravity, and that is entirely dishonest. Just because you don't understand physics doesn't mean that gravity doesn't exist, and gravity does exist.
Guys, I mean, it's been 1 hour, 12 minutes from this debate with him, eh? I never ever said once word gravity until he brought this up now. Not once. So I don't know how I can say gravity didn't exist if I didn't even come out my mouth. Weird, eh?
You have to explain why natural law suddenly doesn't include gravity, which you haven't done. So perhaps you could prove that gravity doesn't exist. Perhaps you could include some calculations and some actual things that you have done to demonstrate it. What experiments have you carried out? What have you done? Because I can name the experiments we have done to prove gravity. The Cavendish experiment, the vacuum.
I was so biting my tongue, actually. I wanted to go onto him with a Cavendish, why it's not experiment and so on, but I was so scared that we obfuscate away from the point we were making, because, I don't know, the mere fact he thinks Cavendish is an experiment tells you one thing. The mere fact he thinks it's experiment.
Chamber, dropping of different articles, experiment. I can name experiments you can do yourself to show that gravity exists.
Well, the debate's not about gravity. I haven't said the word once until now. Secondly,
it's not about pressure gradients either.
Secondly, you cannot demonstrate gravity holding gas indefinitely in an open system. Again, the onus is of you to prove or demonstrate gravity can hold the gas down without the need of having containment. Pressure can only exist in containment, and therefore relies back to my first argument. NASA is lying, because if it's an open system, we would not be able to have gas pressure, to have the pressure gradients. If it's a closed system, 100%. But then they can't claim to go to the place they're going to. So yes, NASA is deceptive.
Sounds very simple.
No, they're not deceptive. Gravity is a thing. We can measure slight changes in pressure due to gravity inside some containers. Definitely can. The whole thing is that in order to demonstrate and sort of, so Flatzoid's going to an unfalsifiable claim kind of thing, or basically requesting proof that is outside of what is possible to demonstrate.
That alone already showed he conceded he can't demonstrate gravity holding gas down, aka they can't demonstrate their religion once again, gas pressure without containment. Just that part there, I could have said, well, the debate's over, you've just lost. If it was about gravity and gas pressure. But he couldn't stick to the topic. But I mean, just that statement alone, guys, it's sad. I mean, I had a baller today telling me scale. The reason we can't demonstrate is because of scale. Have you guys realized every argument from them has got to, the Earth's too big, or we need a larger mass, or it's too small. You know, it's always got to do with, we can't demonstrate because of scale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do. I mean, PJ, you've argumented with some of these guys, and they tell you things like, no, we see too far because the Earth is actually really, really big.
Yeah.
But then in the same breath say,
and if it was flat, there would never be a horizon, and you would see forever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It looks flat because it's so big.
Yeah.
But then we see ships and buildings behind Earth curve 3 miles away from us. It's like, do you not see a contradiction?
Yeah, absolutely.
Better than gold, there's quite a few memes we're going to make with what he said. Don't you worry. There's going to be a few.
Because in order to show the gravity of Earth and its effects, you need something the mass of Earth. And that is the Earth. And we can see sort of atmospheric pressure gradients on other planets that have mass as well. But, Flatzoid will then just beg the question and sort of say, oh, well, that's not real. We have...
I love that. So I beg the question. He just begged the question by saying planets. You know what I mean?
That point,
Thank you, Faciality, for your $2 super chat. Really, really appreciate it. He says, ISS is a pressurized looking at clouds in a vacuum. That's also true. Weird stuff. ISS goes against entropic law. Really odd stuff. But as I said, how do you know it's really what it is claimed to be? You don't know.
No.
But it's really, really sad that these guys actually think they have anything. I mean, just like he just said, I'm begging the question 2 seconds after he just talked about planets and space. But
And they even admit that what they know about the universe in quote inverted commas and all that is about they're probably about 1% right, and that's what they reckon to themselves. So it just shows how much they actually have got wrong, you know.
yeah. Hey Jeff, hey Karalpo, but yeah, thanks again, Faciality, for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it, mate. Oh yeah, guys, I'm leaving now Friday morning and not Thursday night anymore to go to family, so we can still stream on Thursday night. Looking forward to that. Update. Wednesday night, it looks like I'm going to be debating FTFE again on celestial navigation
On your channel,
on my channel. Yeah.
right? Yeah, night after
So I'll
next.
be interested to see what he's trying to bring up, because I'm going to hold him onto triangles.
Let's hope he brings his refracted hand with him. You know what I mean?
But yeah. Hey Quinlan, thank you for coming, mate. But yeah, we get about that.
And been there kind of thing. So it's just sort of a article of faith. And we could see him go to the faith article. That's all it is. It's an article of
I
faith.
love how he's projecting, by the way. Yeah, it's just faith article to the globe. That's what we're saying. You can't demonstrate it. So therefore it's faith. Not from us. We can demonstrate our claims. You guys can't. There's a difference.
That it can't be real, as in my presentation, the first reason this has been studied by psychologists. So the whole thing is, if you have a container, like a bottle or something.
Listen here, guys. Remember what I said in the beginning here? It said twice. You cannot have gas pressure gradients inside a closed container. He said that two or three times. Listen what he's going to say now. I didn't even have to open my mouth. He said it himself.
And you have gas within it, it will not make a pressure gradient. Even if one side is warm, like you warm it up on the bottom.
See, now he's doubled down again. It's the third time he's saying it, guys.
And it's cool on the top. It will not make a pressure gradient. The only way that can happen is by gravity. That is the only way.
And if I can
No, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
And if I can bring up a demonstration showing you wrong?
Go for it.
But anyway, back to what I was stating. Can you show me, what does it say? You were saying gravity is the reason for pressure gradients, correct?
Why does low pressure follow high pressure?
See, mate.
No, I asked a simple question. That's what you're saying. Gravity is the reason for pressure gradients.
In the atmosphere, yes.
Okay.
Does
so this would,
now? I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question. I want to ask a question. I answered yours. Does low pressure follow high pressure?
Yes. That's how gas pressure.
Then why doesn't it do that?
Actually, it does high pressure follow low pressure. I didn't. That was a wrong one for me. I should have corrected him. It's high to low, not low to high. You understand?
Yeah.
So that was actually wrong for me, but I wasn't concentrating on that. I was busy concentrating on to get this description. So you just hear high, low, you think, okay. So there, guys, I do concede. I should have told him it's high to low, not low to high, as he's put it. So once again, he showed he doesn't actually understand gas behavior, or entropy for the matter of fact.
That in the atmosphere.
I explained it. Because of gas behavior
No, you
in a
didn't.
larger
You gave an
system.
excuse.
Remember, the larger the volume, the easier it is to have the pressure gradients.
Then
Okay.
why does low pressure follow high pressure in our atmospheric weather systems?
You see there again, low pressure follow high pressure. No.
Yeah, he said it the same one again, didn't
You see. And I'm busy concentrating on this thing, so I'm not really realizing he's got it the opposite way around.
he? Yeah.
Easy. Because
High
of
pressure
gas
follow low pressure in
behavior.
our atmospheric system.
Okay, there we go. So he did correct himself. High pressure follow low pressure. I think someone corrected him on comments.
Yeah, probably in his chat, yeah.
Okay, let me just...
Yeah, and that is the behaviour. In our atmospheric systems, high pressure follows low pressure. Why does that not happen in the atmospheric
It
gradient?
does.
Why?
It
does.
does.
It does.
Entropy is the
It
arrow
does.
of
So
time. Entropy is the arrow of time.
if that was the case,
So this guy's claiming we don't see any storms, cyclones, tornadoes. Heck, is it? I'm sure it's raining somewhere by somewhere now. BJ, it's probably raining by you guys, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. If not, it's probably going to.
Does he know that's high pressure to low pressure?
Well,
This is how dumb this guy is. He doesn't get weather systems are thermodynamic systems.
today was actually the best day we've had this year so far. You know what I mean, for this season. Yeah, it was quite warm today when I was fishing.
Yeah,
But it looks like it's going to rain now. It's
exactly.
getting dark.
Awesome. Yeah, I got yesterday. I wanted to mow the lawn. Went to go lend a grass cutter, a lawnmower, because we usually got a guy that does the lawn for us, but we haven't got a hold of him in like 3 weeks now. It's like he's just disappeared, and we don't know if he's still alive or not. So we went to and lent a lawnmower yesterday, and decided, okay, it looks like the weather's starting to turn. It's going to start raining, so I have to quickly cut. It's one of those electric lawnmowers.
Yeah,
So
you got to get it. It's dry.
Yeah, so I quickly cut outside, and then I was like, no, I'm burning my ass off because it's still a bit sun. And then I saw the clouds are coming. I'm like, the power's about to go off now, so I'm not going to rush. I'll just try again later. Well, later comes as soon as I want to start. There, it looks like it's going to start storming. 2 drops, stops. So then I ended up having to finish it now after work quickly, and then sort out my son, and I'm here. And I mean, it takes like 2 hours to mow my lawn because it's a big yard.
I was going to say, you've probably got the whole plains of Africa lawn, ain't you?
Yeah, it's quite a yard, so it took me like 2 hours to do it. I was running doing it. Luckily, I did the outside yesterday, so that helped. Made it a bit quicker.
Aye.
Yeah.
Case, there would be an upwards wind constantly because lower is always a higher pressure.
Upwards winds constantly. He obviously doesn't know how hurricanes are formed, does he?
Again, remember, gas behavior. Now, this, like I'm getting, you are obfuscating from showing your point. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
We can. Okay, so I'm not going to play the sound, but good time for all. He took a canister, he welded a gauge on the top, and he put it in a ice bucket. He's got another gauge on the top that's linked to the bottom of this closed canister. It's in a ice bucket. He's heating up the top. He's getting a difference in pressure reading from the top of the container to the bottom of the container. So therefore, it's a demonstration.
Yeah, he's heating up the top.
Hey, what's good to see audio issues. Sounds much better as people have been saying, so I'm not sure. The only audio issues I'm still going to try and sort out as soon as I get my earphones. Then I can have it playing through the system that it's not going to echo anymore.
When you fix it for everybody on YouTube, I get it's back to being the way it was last night with me. You know, when you're fading in, sort of thing. But I can deal with it.
Let me see if it's set up again. See, it's back to there we go. There, it just sets itself back down.
Well, you sound completely different.
Stop. It sets it down. Input volume. So I've got to keep it up. Is there any way I can lock? Is there any way I can lock this nonsense?
That's crazy because all of a sudden you just changed just to be I can hear you.
And that makes sense. Why yesterday you said it faded the whole time?
Yeah.
There we go. Look at that, guys. I don't know. Is anybody able to tell me how I can get this to stop changing?
Now you sound fine.
Yeah, because I'm setting it up, but it changes the whole time. It goes down and up like it's supposed to. If I start test, okay, it keeps it as it's supposed to. Maybe I have to do it this way. No, it still changes it. I don't know why it does that. It's really, really weird stuff.
Pressure gradient in a closed container, which you just said is impossible to demonstrate. Now I'm going to ask you again. Please show me a demonstration.
Where is the heat
He's
coming
going
from?
to the top to show you the difference. He's heating it up first. Let's go to...
Where is the heat coming from?
In this demonstration, the heat gun.
No, in Earth's atmosphere, where is this heat coming from?
The sun.
The sun. So the top is heating up.
Through less amount of gas. Remember we talked about Avogadro's law?
Yeah, this is one thing I try to explain to him. This is a closed container with a fixed amount of gas inside the closed container. It was already at equilibrium. Now, when he heats it up on the top and cools it down the bottom, it's still got the same amount of gas in the closed system. It is just at the top, it's moving faster, aka more collisions, more pressure. The bottom, less collisions, less pressure. That's how it works. Now, if we had to take Earth, for instance, it's not at equilibrium. It's a dynamic system. It's already having the difference because it's a dynamic system. This was first in equilibrium, and therefore changing the behavior of the gas gives the pressure gradient. Remember, he asked me to demonstrate gas pressure gradients inside containment. So that's exactly what was shown.
No.
Yes.
Less amount of gas. You're saying that the heat is causing the less amount of gas.
No.
It can't be that heat.
Yeah, I never said the heat is causing the less amount of gas. So there was another total lie, actually. I mean, I would call that a lie, never mind a straw man. Sad. Yeah, so guys, do let me know if it goes softer again. Don't know why it does that. I've got to try to figure out how to lock it in place, I guess.
Heat is being applied to a less amount of gas if the less amount of gas is already there.
If you got 5 small,
What is causing it?
if you got 5 moles in a larger area and it gets heated up, it's still just 5 moles. They're just moving faster. They're expanding more. Now, if you go lower where it's more compressed, it's together, you have now 50 moles, for instance. The pressure is going to be higher there because there's more moles to bombard off of something. Hence, pressure.
Yeah, I realise you misunderstand physics.
Hey television, good to see you. Debatable D and Klebrick Ruckus. I love how his rebuttal towards me explaining it and showing it on screen is, no, you don't understand physics. I mean, this is the same guy that says gas has no behavior. Yeah.
So if you put a thermometer at the top of this, would it be hotter or colder than the bottom?
The pressure was higher at the top because it was
would the pressure would the thermometer be would the air be hotter at the top or the bottom?
Sorry, the air pressure?
No. Would the air temperature be hotter at the top or the bottom?
On the demonstration I just showed you,
Yes.
it's colder at the bottom because it's in an ice bucket.
Right.
The pressure was lower, bottom up.
And that is the equivalent of the sun striking our atmosphere, right? Correct?
You see, this is how he was trying to strawman me with this. He asked me for a demonstration. I gave him a demonstration. Try to move the goalpost and say, oh, but you're getting higher pressure where it's supposed to be less pressure. No, the demonstration was, we can show you gas behavior changes that you can have gas pressure gradients inside a container, which he said was impossible. That was it. So instead of conceding, yeah, you did what you said you would be able to do, he tried to move the goalpost and now say, oh, but on Earth, the higher you go up, the less pressure. You understand?
Apparently I sound too loud, but there's nothing I can do about it because I'm using my phone. I'm not using a microphone. I'm not using headphones. There's no setting I can use. There's no setting I can do. It's just how the app is. So
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try to see if I can maybe just move this. Okay, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, let's carry on.
Okay, go.
Yes.
Make your point.
And then it should be hotter at the top and colder at the bottom, correct? That's what you just said.
No, the demonstration was you can provide, that if I can provide you pressure gradients in a closed containment using gas behavior. Heating up a gas, remember that containment when it comes in, it's at equilibrium. It's not pressure gradient. So it's got the same moles at the top as the bottom of the container. Everywhere. It's in equilibrium. Then
and that heat is the sun, right?
Yeah, this is not about the sun. This is about gas behavior itself. Then he puts
No. You
bucket.
said that heat is.
See what I mean? How dishonest this guy is. I explained it to him.
Just a little.
Yeah, I mean, it's very dishonest. I mean, he asked for something, give it to him, and now he wants to say and false equivalence now to the Earth, which is not what the demonstration was showing. The demonstration was simply showing the premise that he said you cannot have gas pressure gradients in a closed container because of gas behavior. So we just showed him wrong. So now he wants to take a false equivalence fallacy and say, oh, but Earth. You understand?
Yeah.
The fact is they can't show us any demonstration without containment, having gas pressure without containment. They can't. It's impossible. What's his plea for that? Oh, scale. Man, it's crazy. But I mean, I don't know how much more I can make this. The gas canister comes with gas already in it in equilibrium. That means there's no pressure gradient. That's the same as the top as the bottom. Now, when you excite the gases and decite the gases, then you change the movements of those gases, therefore gas behavior, and you get the pressure gradients. Now on Earth, the gas has never been in equilibrium. It's a dynamic system. I don't know how you cannot see the difference.
The sun, because I asked you where the heat in the atmosphere comes from, and you said the sun.
Yeah, but
right?
is the Earth in equilibrium?
What does it matter?
It matters. That
You're saying without this principle, it would be in equilibrium, right?
Why are you talking over me? If he has a container, it's already in equilibrium. He then puts it in an ice bucket. Therefore, the container is becoming colder. With
and the air on the bottom is colder,
Great.
right?
So then he puts up the heat at the top. Then it starts having a pressure gradient because the gas from the top is what's being heated. The gas at the bottom is not. Therefore, gives a different in pressure readings. Now with Earth, it's simple. We've already got the conglomerate of the gases lower down and less moles at the top. Less moles to get heated up, more moles to get heated up. You get it? And radiation works going through and radiating the ground, which causes more heat at the bottom.
But why, if the source of the heat up the top is the sun, is the bottom, right?
Oh God.
Which I just explained. I said radiation. Mark, he didn't catch that, did he? Very simple stuff. I mean, this is the same arguments they actually give why they so-called astronauts don't burn up in space, because there's no atmo. You understand? It's crazy. It's like his argument then should be, well, if the guys are in space, they should just burn up because it's super hot. You understand? Because they're closer to the sun.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't get, every argument he's bringing is just simply based on ignorance, not understanding how it. Hey Arrow, good to see you. Thank you for coming, mate. Glad you could make it. Yeah, we all know there would never be a demonstration in regards to gas pressure without containment. Even most globers accept this fact. That's why they point to the sky and say gravity. Exactly.
Because your example, this is why your example does not work in the slightest. Because you have a system where you're making the top hot and the bottom cold. And the problem with that is that if that was the Earth's atmosphere, then that would be reversed.
Remember,
because it is warmer towards the Earth than it is towards the top. You can't claim that it is temperature that does it, and then explain and basically then flip it around so that it's colder at the top for the Earth, and then warmer at the bottom. You have just disproved your entire experiment.
Sorry.
Congratulations.
First of all, it wasn't an experiment, it was a demonstration. Secondly, you asked me if I'd be able to demonstrate, actual demonstration, having gas pressure gradients in a closed container, which I just simply done now. Now you realize that you have a faux pas because you have not yet demonstrated your claim, gas pressure without a container. So would you please demonstrate?
You have not actually given any of those readings that you have taken to see whether that would work in the Earth's atmosphere.
See what I mean? Moving the goalpost once again. Instead of just conceding, yeah, you were right. You did what I said was impossible. Nope. Instead, he's deceitful. Yeah, deceitful. Running away from just conceding. You did what I said you couldn't do. I mean, we've heard through the whole debate he say it's impossible. I think he said like 3 or 4 times. Yet now, after he saw this demonstration, later on he's going to actually give an example on his side why we do set pressure gradients in a container. It's sad.
Do realize that, don't you? That you basically just said, hey, there's a difference in pressure. What was the temperature? What was the pressure? You haven't recorded any of that. You've just said, hey, this will work because I've made it something work in my thing. You realize how unscientific that is? That when you're talking about something...
Yeah, I never said science. So I don't know why he brought up science as well. That's how he works, guys. On obfuscating techniques. So he wants to be very subtle to try and trigger me on a subject so we can change the subject. Little does he know I am very stubborn when trying to keep to a topic. So, I mean, yeah, I'm going to say straight out, I am stubborn when I want to keep to a topic. And my topic was simply why NASA is deceitful. And the number one argument was it violates natural law. So, that was it.
You really should have, and this is what I'm asking for. I'm asking for your independent variables and your dependent variable. That if, hey, I change the temperature for this amount over this amount of gas in this space, then the dependent variable will change by this amount. And the problem is that flat earthers refuse to provide any of this because they can be shown to be wrong through natural laws. But he basically wants to say, well, gravity's not a natural law, we'll throw it out, doesn't matter, while at the same time proving that just using heat won't actually make this work.
Yet I'm the one demonstrating gas behavior in containment. You, on the other hand, just saying, nah, you don't understand, you believe the Earth is flat.
Yeah, it's that's it. I mean, that's all he had. Ignoring everything that was presented to him, telling me, nah, you don't understand, bringing up things like not scientific, blah, 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 you don't understand physics, even when I don't even bring it up. That's right. Please answer. Have you know either Earth is flat with a dome, but in the heliocentric model that it is pressurized in the atmosphere, and the other is its own weight? If nothing, then it's not a pressurized gas. Exactly. You require containment to have the gas pressure.
I can demonstrate gravity. And without any gas whatsoever.
Gravity holding gas down indefinitely? Can you show gravity holding gas down indefinitely? Because it doesn't matter which gas you take. You can take a fish tank of sulfur hexafluoride. It will disperse.
Let's get on to gravity then.
You see how see what he's like. Oh, now he's trying to talk about gravity. Let's obfuscate from gravity into gravity. You see, and he thinks I didn't catch on to it.
Yeah.
But that's I'm still keeping it with the sulfur hexafluoride into the fish tank because it still keeps with my pertinent argument. I don't know what this guy thought, but like I said in the first stream, I don't think he was prepared for me. I think he thought I was going to be some kind of walkover because he's never debated me before. Yeah. It shows you shouldn't underestimate someone. And I mean, again, I'm really disappointed because I thought there's going to be more to what he's going to present.
You thought you'd get a little sweat on at least.
Sorry?
You thought you'd maybe get a little sweat on at least.
Yeah. I mean, I was there actually educating him on gas behavior. That was actually what I was there for. So, I thought I was going to have an actual debate, but it was more me trying to tell him, yes, gas has behaviors. Simple fact. I don't know. That was about it.
Then why do...
But this is so true what Godzilla said. That homeless tweaker shelter sent to the moon in 69 says all you need to know about the weather. NASA is deceitful or not. Sorry, Mark. It ends there to be honest. Exactly. Tin foil and Reynolds wrap. Come on. That's supposed to hold the the whole environment of space. It's crazy. Yeah, the projection throughout the debate was unreal. It was on another level, actually. I'm trying to keep it up, guys. It's the input level's going down. I don't know how I can get it to stay that way. If you guys have, maybe there's driver updates I need to do or something. There is driver updates. So I will be doing that after, well, yeah, the show's going to end, so I'll have to do it tomorrow quickly. Maybe that will keep it to stay at one level. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. And that's the reason why the sound was so rubbish yesterday. I wish I figured that out earlier.
To say in a vacuum chamber, feathers and a bowling ball hit the ground at the same time.
That's not gas. We're talking about gas.
I don't care. It's gravity.
You see, we're talking about gas. It's unmonitored, homogeneous. It's got elastic collisions. It's moving in all directions. Gas pressure is the gas exerting a force on a surface area. A bowling ball does not move on its own. A feather does not move on its own. It's not the same as an unbonded gas mole. It's crazy. I don't know if there's a limiter. No, the thing is it keeps going down to like 33%. There's no limiter anyway. I mean, it's showing, the only thing I can set here is the format to DVD quality. 48,000 hertz, unless I should change that. But I mean, I don't know why it keeps changing down. This device is currently in use. Changing any properties during may cause audio application issues. Yeah, and that's all I'm getting is audio application issues because it keeps changing. Really frustrating, actually.
I'm talking about gravity. I'm talking about gravity.
Again, gas behavior of a gas. Gravity on gas behavior of a gas and on a physical, how can I say, bowling ball or something. A bowling ball is not a gas particle. There's two different things. So you can't false.
Are you saying gas is unaffected by gravity?
It's a false equivalence. We're talking about gas.
Actually, yes. Because no one's been able to present us where gravity does anything to gas. And by the way, you require a force to cause acceleration. So F equals ma. If gravity is not a force, there's no F equals ma to cause the acceleration of gas to move in a different vector. Gas behavior is simple. The gas can only change direction with a collision. It's got elastic collisions. So it doesn't matter how much kinetic energy it has used up, it will move in that vector indefinitely until it has had a collision to change its course. That's how gas works.
Gas behavior. So I want you to show us a demonstration where gravity, that's not actually even a force, can hold down indefinitely gas particles.
Sure, so we just have to have a heavy gas, that's all.
Listen, guys. Listen, remember what I said? It's like 4 times where he said you cannot have pressure gradients in containment? That was his positive assertion. I showed him in, and listen how he's going to try. And, well, he's backing down from that assertion.
The fluoride, which you say is a very dense gas, correct? One of the densest gases you can get. Do you know there's still dispersion with sulfur hexafluoride?
I was actually wondering, does he know what sulfur hexafluoride was? Because he wasn't answering me on it.
What's a heavy gas?
You see? Sulfur hexafluoride says, oh, what's a heavy gas? You see, so I don't even know if he knew what sulfur hexafluoride is.
Sulfur hexafluoride.
I'm sorry, you asked me to find something then. Okay, so this is the problem. You have gases of 2 different masses, right? 2 different mass.
Listen what he says, guys. Gases of 2 different masses. Listen.
Yeah.
One will go lower than the other.
Yeah.
One will settle to the bottom. One will be higher.
They never settle though. They're always conglomerate. That's Dalton's law. Do you understand Dalton's law?
Okay, so but you do realise that one's going to be pulled lower than the other,
They
right?
don't get pulled.
Rubbish. Temperature causes gas to change direction. It's called wind. No, wind is gas collisions, mate. So it's the collision of gas which causes them to change direction. This is the level of rebuttal we get from these guys, these so-called experts.
Gas moves in all directions, not just one direction.
But what? Okay, so I feel like you're just being willfully ignorant here. That basically, if you have a light gas like hydrogen, okay, so if you have a container, hang on a second, if you have a container with hydrogen and oxygen, which
Listen, if you have a container with hydrogen and oxygen, listen.
one will be at the bottom?
They will mix if it's a closed container, correct?
Oh my!
You said
Really?
Thank you, Godzilla37. Thank you very much for the gifting the 5 memberships. You are really awesome, mate. Really, really appreciate it. You rock. Okay, I'm home now. It's good to see you. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. My wife got gifted a membership while she was sleeping, funny enough. I don't know how that happened. So she says, thank you very much, Godzilla. But let's go back 10 seconds, just so we can quickly listen again. Remember, it's been 4 or 5 times now. He says you cannot have gas pressure gradients in a closed system. What is the argument he's bringing up now?
With hydrogen and oxygen, which one will be at the bottom?
they will mix if it's a closed container, correct?
Oh my.
You said,
really? Is that what you think?
You claimed a closed
Which one
container will
will
seek equilibrium, did you not? That was your claim.
Yeah.
Great, so why are they not
Yeah.
in equilibrium then?
Because they're not the same gas. They're not the same density. They're
know
not the same mass.
You know how Dalton's law works?
Our air and atmosphere is. This is the worst argument I've ever heard.
Do you see that?
He's stressed.
How do I put this in simple terms? He says you cannot have gas pressure gradients in a closed container. Then he's fighting for gas pressure gradients in a container by saying you have two different gases.
Yeah.
After he's fought with me the whole time telling me you don't get pressure gradients in a container.
What a numpty.
Yeah, the mere fact he doesn't understand what Dalton's law is tells you something. Sorry, give me 2 seconds quickly.
But you're claiming to believe that if you put a light gas like hydrogen and a heavier gas like oxygen, they're just going to intermingle in a container.
They do intermingle. That's why it's called Dalton's law. Should we quickly go and look? Where is that? Composition. 78.8% nitrogen, 29% oxygen, and 0.3 argon, and a brew of trace oxygen. These are all mixture of gases, guys, in our atmos, as you state. This is due to Dalton's law. Let's look at Dalton's law. There we go. Simple fact. Plus, 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 plus gives you atmospheric pressure. All these gases are in conglomerate with each other in the atmo, guys. I think you guys should look up Dalton's law, because all these together give your PSI reading, aka 14.69. They all in conglomerate with each other, Mark. They don't separate with each other. If they did, we would be dead right now, because you would only have CO2 at ground level all the time and would have nothing else. Everything would separate in their densities indefinitely, and we would die. Correct? We would just die. I mean, that's why when you get CO2 pooling, they just leave it for a while until it's dispersed. Then they can go back to their merry lives like it's fine. It doesn't stay there indefinitely. CO2 pooling still has dispersion. So yeah, just had to point that out. It's good to see everybody here, guys. Thank you for coming. please don't forget to hit that share button and like button and show the show, because the more people we get on, the better. Yes, CO2 pockets. Hey, Teta Jim, good to see you, mate.
Which is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. That is just so silly.
You just
Yeah, partial pressures, conglomerate of gases. I don't know. I'm not going to say the word. Oh, yeah. N is much higher than CO2. Correct, Theta. Because gravity wells.
literally conceded that you could have pressure.
You know what? I've got an idea. Since you guys say I am misrepresenting Dalton's law, why don't you come and talk to me about it? Are you guys going to grow some cojones for once in your life? Come on.
You just spotted all of a sudden, so yeah, you're a big rush to Discord right now.
Yeah. Hey, Gary Wybenga, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Look, guys, I'm even going to open the live stream chat. There we go. So come and present Dalton's law to us. Let's see how brave you are.
Gradients in a closed container, which you said 10 minutes ago is impossible, by your own admission.
No, that's because they are different gases.
So pressure gradient in a closed system then. Different gases. We have different gases in our atmosphere.
I didn't even want to say that sphere word, by the way.
But they don't. Then what? That's ridiculous, because it was a closed container. All of the oxygen would go down to the bottom. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so again, you understand how gas works. It moves in all directions. There's still the denser gas,
Yes.
also high up, just a less amount of it.
So what, if that were true, then hydrogen would not have the buoyant properties that it does.
You think there's no hydrogen at ground level? Not even any percent of hydrogen.
He said he just agrees with me there's hydrogen at ground level. But what did he say 5 seconds ago?
Hydrogen would not have the buoyant properties that it does.
You think there's no hydrogen here at ground level? Not
I
even
do.
any percent of hydrogen at all.
No, I do.
So it's a conglomerate. Dalton's law. Congratulations. Partial pressures in the system. Welcome to reality, Mark.
And you think that, remember, like I said, Dalton's law, we have a certain amount of
Yes,
differences
because you're
of gases.
talking.
Coral Apple says, press Windows key plus R to open run, then type control, sound press, and then select communications tab, then apply. Okay, let me try. The Windows key plus R. sys.cpl. Okay, what should I do now? Communications tab, select do nothing. Ah, there we go. Thank you very much, Carl Apple. Really appreciate it. So the damn thing can stop changing. It should keep fine now. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very muchly. Yes, it was so irritating. Let's carry on.
Which is totally bombarding into each other at every single altitude.
So come in, Flatzoid. Come explain to me what it's about then. Be a man. Discord's open for you. Look, it's open. Come be a man. Explain to us what it's about. I dare you. Come on. Show us you're not just some idiotic troll that's just trolling my chat every day. Be a man.
Be a woman if you want and still explain it.
It doesn't matter if you're they, she, hum. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doorknob. Doesn't really not matter. Just show you're a human being and you're able to actually back up what you claim.
So, why does a balloon full of helium rise then?
Because it's less dense and the pressure around it
Okay.
forces it up.
Okay. So how do you calculate density?
I'm not here to calculate this. You're obfuscating from demonstrating gas.
No, how do you mention density? How do you calculate density? How do you calculate?
You see how he's trying to move the burden onto me? Because he wants me, he's trying to strawman me and red herring to try and push, but you see, gravity is in density. But all he had to do was demonstrate what I've been asking him for this whole debate. It was very simple stuff. The reason I didn't want to give them any equation or explain it or work it out is because they say, you know what's the G? Or, the displacement is in grams. You know what I mean? Or liters. So, aka weight. Because then it would be another debate all on its own. So that's why I literally just ignored them and said, no, demonstrate what was asked for. Stationary, it's very simple stuff. Yeah, rumpus mode television.
Density. How do you calculate? It's a question. How do you calculate density? Don't dodge. How do you calculate it?
I can counter this by saying Archimedes' principle predates gravity by 1,900 years. So therefore,
doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. Can any glober here explain to me how ships worked on Archimedes' principle if gravity was not even conceptualized before? Can someone tell me that? So where's gravity if it was only conceptualized 1,900 years later? Do you guys see the issue here? Because you guys literally say, you require the equation with gravity in for it to work. Bullshit. 1,900 years of history says you're wrong. It's simply the displacement of pressure. That's it. Remember, the larger surface area, the spread out the pressure, therefore it's more buoyant. It's got nothing, absolutely bugger all, to do with your belief in fairy tale gravity. Nothing. Nada, zip. It's like taking the principle, you take a needle and you poke it on something. You got more pressure because of the surface area. Key word here, surface area. Now when you try and stick your finger in to try and push a hole, it's harder. Why? You require more force because of the surface area. So when a ship is on the water, the wider, the more surface area it's touching, the more pressure is being dispersed. It's not gravity.
Look, leeches predate modern medicine. It doesn't mean they work better.
How did Archimedes' principle work without gravity, Mark?
And you guys are starting to talk over each other. Sorry, but I love it.
Yeah, I didn't really talk over him. He was talking over me, but yeah.
Actually, enthusiasm. It's actually been a fantastic debate. So thank you, Mark and Flatzoid. We have about.
You only have one independent variable in a scientific hypothesis. Now you can have multiple hypotheses, multiple hypotheses, or hypothesi as they put, or whatever. Then you can have a difference in IV, because each hypothesis only has one IV for one dV. That's how it works, because you're working out the cause for the effect, not the causes for the effects. You wouldn't know which one does what if you have more than one. Hey, Conspiracy Pundit, thank you for coming. Slip Radar, so good to see you. Let's do this.
15-20 more minutes of open discussion before we switch into the Q&A. Please keep on sending me all of your questions at Amy Newman. But with that, Mark, Flatzoid, the floor is yours once again.
I still just couldn't take that. Flatzoid.
No,
every time it says Flatzoid, it's like, it's Flatzoid. But okay. But I still have to commend Amy, did a good job on the show, on moderating. I was surprised. So big ups to Amy there.
Density is mass over volume. Mass divided by volume, right? And how do you calculate mass?
Pressure.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, mass is just the pressure of mass over volume. But I mean, I should actually ask him, okay, what's mass? But I was so scared we're going to obfuscate from the point. Oh, Flataholics, remember, Discord is open for you. Look, it's open. Are you coming to talk about it? Come on. And it doesn't matter if ships were made out of wood. It's not the materials the ship is made out of. It's the dispersion of the pressure.
I'm not moving to gravity.
You calculate mass because you won't answer the question. You calculate mass with gravity.
You still obfuscating. Archimedes' principle did not require gravity when it was prescribed. Archimedes predated, I think it's like 1,900 years or something, before Newton came.
I love how he's trying to look it up on his computer now. Exactly, Richard G. Mark has been an expert in what? I have no idea. Probably ad hominems. Probably in fallacies and condescending. I don't know.
Up with false gravity, yet we had ships working on Archimedes' principle for 1,000 years. Now,
Archimedes' principle is displacement.
Yeah, displacement, but not due to gravity. Your belief in gravity makes you think it's got to do with gravity. Oh, yeah.
Exactly, of pressure, not gravity.
Right. So how does displacement...
So you just actually conceded, yeah, of pressure, not gravity. He said right, so he did agree with me. Then why the hell is he pushing gravity then? Open a box of air on the ground, but inside a vacuum, dipshit. Yeah, exactly, Godzilla. We've shown this so many times. Let's draw it quickly for these guys, because it's so simple. I actually drew it for him, I think, as well in the debate. This would be a system, aka the universe. Now you have another system, a box. This would now be, let's say, Earth. You have gas pressure inside. Oopsie. It's bouncing all over the system inside. Okay? Now, what happens when you remove the lid? The gas will now bounce out into the surrounding system. It doesn't matter the density of the gas, it will always disperse into the surrounding system. Entropy, guys. Entropy. Is it kept on? No, it still changes it. Sorry, mate. It still changes my level. I don't know why it does that. It's such irritating. I'm going to have to try to figure it out somehow. Okay, let's carry on with the video.
You just said,
how does displacement work in a vacuum chamber?
Easy.
There, I just explained it. That would be a vacuum chamber. Displacement would just move. The gas would just move.
It's still working. If it's a vacuum chamber, it's just less moles. They're still bouncing around in the vacuum chamber. And hence you still haven't provided evidence of gas pressure without containment.
Yep.
So the Archimedes principle does not work without gravity and mass.
Hey Paul, good to see you, mate. You see, I just told him Archimedes' principle predates gravity by 1,900 years or something, and he still says it doesn't work without gravity. Does he not get the issue here? Thank you, Faciality, for your $2 super chat. Really, really appreciate it. It says, gravity pulls objects, but I never feel pulled. Yeah, they believe we require something to hold us to the ground. That's just a mental gymnastics thing, actually, because nothing is holding us down because we're not needing to fly up if nothing's holding us down. We're simply denser than the air around us, so therefore we don't need to have the reason to think we would fly away. But thank you very much for your super chat, Matt. What mic am I using? Frankly, I can't remember the make. Zing Tong Zong, I don't know. Some Chinese make. I still know why it would change though on this. Okay, let's carry on.
Because the more mass that you put into water, the more it
I also think that, Cara, I'm going to have to look through around to see what's going on. But it's got to be something trying to set it down the whole time somewhere.
Places, so the more
Pressure.
weight it has.
So more
And in
pressure.
order to calculate weight, you do need to have gravity.
Another misnomer that people think. Yeah, calculate weight is you thinking gravity. You don't need gravity to calculate weight. It's simply the pressure on the scale. The load cell is what's measuring the pressure on that load cell of the scale. That's what weight is. It's the pressure on the scale. Not weight because of gravity pulling it down. That's just the belief, once again. Just because they love putting gravity everywhere doesn't make it real. I mean, what happens if we go and change all the textbooks and take G away and stick in U for unicorn farts? Does that now make it unicorn farts? Yeah, in their paradigm it would be unicorn farts just because it says U. It's simple as that.
And you don't. It's just pressure.
Yes, you do.
displacement.
How do you calculate? What's the calculation for weight then?
It's pressure displacement. Now again, you're
No,
obfuscating
what's the
from
calculation
the
for
point
weight?
again.
You said you
you're
could
trying very
calculate weight
hard-
without gravity.
You're trying very hard to obfuscate from your point there.
No, I'm not.
NASA is deceptive because the Earth is classified as a closed system which lets matter through, so therefore it can only be open. Therefore, we could not have air pressure to have the pressure gradient. Your affirmative bias here is we do have an open system.
Exactly.
I therefore can have gas pressure without containment.
Exactly. Gravity is the god of the gaps for every glober. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to keep on doing this, guys. Sorry about that. Let's go.
Please demonstrate it, Mark. I think this is the 30th time I've asked.
No.
Yeah, weight is simply down. Gas moves in all directions. I've explained this to him many times, Nathan. Stay tuned for one of my shorts I'm making soon where he says gas has no behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
Gas has no behavior, Nathan. That's what Mark
Yeah,
Reid
so
says.
it doesn't move in all different directions. It doesn't collide off of other gas particles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he says gas has no behavior. I was like, what?
No. You don't get away from this. You don't dodge and
You
run.
are the one
sir.
dodging, not me.
You said that. Hang on. This is my turn
got
to
triggered,
talk.
he's getting.
You said that you could calculate weight without gravity. So what
that's
is
fine.
the equation for your calculation of weight without appealing to gravity?
Okay,
What is it?
I'll tell you something. I'll give you it.
What is
If
it?
I'll give it
Yep,
to you.
go for it.
I'll
No.
give you-
That's all I want. That's all I
will
want.
give it to you
What
once
is it?
you've demonstrated gas pressure without containment.
Yeah, the Earth. That's gas. Well, it's atmospheric pressure actually. It's not gas pressure.
Thank you, Godzilla37, for the $5.50 super chat. Really appreciate it. He said, should I time out this obnoxious Nathan fellow? Thank you very much for the super chat. Nathan, maybe you should answer Godzilla. Thank you for the super chat, mate. Appreciate it.
So you're kind of
Sorry,
conflating the
Dalton's
two, because
law-
atmospheric pressure is not the same as gas pressure.
What's argon?
So the fact that gravity
What is
works
argon?
on our atmosphere gives atmospheric pressure. But now you can give. You don't need me
What
to
is
answer
argon?
anything else to give the equation.
Sorry, Flatzoid, what's mass? What is mass? Tell me.
Hang on, to give the equation of weight without appealing to gravity. See, you know you can't do it. You know
And
you
so-
have no equation without gravity.
And remember, guys, I said to him I would give it to him if he would just demonstrate gas pressure without a container. Did he do so? No, he didn't.
No.
Yeah.
And that's why you're not giving it.
So,
Busted.
gentlemen, we have 15 more minutes. We're going to do 1 or 2 minute increments, but you can feel free to give up your time as whenever you want. But Mark just talked. Flatzoid, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah,
Well,
again, I appreciate it. Again, Mark, the topic was NASA is deceptive. My argument one was why they're deceptive because they're claiming something that violates the natural law. I can't help you don't understand how gas behavior works. The atmo falls under every single gas law there is. Dalton's law literally just debunked you because it's the conglomerate of gases, argon, nitrogen, CO2, oxygen, or whatever. So therefore, gas still has to abide by gas laws. Just because you have a belief that it's atmosphere doesn't take away the gas behavior. It's still gas that has to abide by gas behavior. So one last time, can you provide us any demonstration, not pointing to the sky there.
Godzilla. Flatzoid.
Flatzoid. I know, it's funny. I wonder where she gets that from, because it clearly says Flatzoid.
It's a Flatzoid. I have to say, look how confused she looks here while I'm trying to explain it.
Flattest Zoid.
Yeah, I believe flattest Zoid next. Thanks, Slip Radar. Oh, man.
Are you the flattest of the flatties? Is that what it is?
Yeah, LV Paul, exactly. Paul says, thinking of antisocial gas. Yep, exactly. How does Nathan put it? The gas gets to the common and decides, you know what? I'm going to just ignore what I'm created for. I'm not going to disperse further. Stuff you. And it goes back down.
Yeah.
Hi, Mikey Smith. Good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Glow Peer Review, thank you for coming, mate.
How you doing, Lotion?
Oh, Lotion's in. How you doing, mate? I want to South Shore.
I am great. I saw it live, but I saw that bald fuck talking, and I'm like, I don't know if I should come in. I was so triggered by that dude.
he is condescending, isn't he?
Just awful.
Yeah.
But
hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully everybody's doing good.
All good, bro. All good,
Very
man.
good, thanks, man.
Good.
But it's good to have you in. Okay, let's get on with the video because we've only got an hour left.
To believe any demonstration that the reason we have these pressure gradients without the gas moving anyway, without containment, show us a demonstration, please.
Oh wait, Larry Neven says, yes, the apple floats, but a bit is submerged. RDD disproved. That is RDD. You moron. Yes. It's called displacement, Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle is the main foundation of RDD. Whoops.
Yeah, there's plenty of demonstration with sufficient gravity to do it. Plasma, for example, is a demonstration when the plasma of stars and things can actually cause a pressure gradient without actually having a container.
Plasma pressure gradients. That was a new one.
Oh yeah, one quick thing. What I thought was hilarious was that he was trying to say to us, well, you know, you can't have something from nothing, or God created all this place, and then he's like, well, I want you to demonstrate it. He wanted us to demonstrate God's power.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to explain. What's more nonsensical, telling me nothing doesn't mean nothing, and then wanting me to demonstrate supernatural? You understand? That's what it means to be supernatural. It's above natural law.
Not finding out where he lives and going and punching him in the mouth is supernatural enough to me.
Mandela effect. NASA is not deceitful. We went to the moon. I saw it on the TV.
Yeah,
funny thing is,
the guy wasn't even alive back then.
Funny thing is, many people heard it on the radio, never even saw it, by the way.
Should have linked Buzz Aldrin's interview with I think it was Conan O'Brien, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember watching it on TV," and he goes, "No, you didn't. No, you don't.
You only saw
You're
animation.
watching animation.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had TVs."
Nope. Paul, yeah.
Hear it from the source, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Paul's correct. Plasma is in a container. That's why I was gonna okay, so we're talking about arc reactors now, so a container. But yeah, I was just trying to keep him still to just show us his demonstration, and yet he didn't.
Around it, and we know this can happen upon massive objects. Even in very large containers, we can.
Can I counter that quickly? Can I counter that quickly? First of all,
no, you can't.
When you create
Can I counter that quickly? No, you can't. I didn't realize that. So he gives an argument, And I say, okay, can I count that quickly? He says, no, you can't. Hey, TB, thank you for coming, mate. Good to see you. So let's go back to this quickly.
Even in very large containers, we can.
Can I counter that quickly? Can I counter that quickly? First of all,
no, you can't.
When you create plasma,
and this is just a dodge because, hang on, no, this is my time.
No, you can't.
This is my time.
My time, but he's been having my time this whole debate.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he was talking over me the whole time.
And that tranny dude just wasn't doing it for me. Just couldn't handle that person. Couldn't handle it.
Some decorum, sir.
We're going to hand it back over
Absolutely
to Mark,
ridiculous.
but then hand it right over to you, Flatzoid.
Yeah, learn to take your... Like, I gave you all the time you wanted and you just jump in. It's really disgusting.
See, I even apologized.
Yeah, and this is just a dodge because he wants to sort of go to flat Earth and not whether NASA is lying. It's
Again, this whole debate, I've never once brought up flat Earth. Not once. He has. Continuously. But not me. But somehow I'm the one bringing it up.
just a flat Earth debate dressed up in sort of lipstick kind of thing. He hasn't actually demonstrated why NASA is lying at all. He just has a faith belief. He believes there's a God. He believes that the Bible says the Earth is flat, and therefore it's flat.
I didn't bring up the Bible either.
No, you didn't. But so he's admitting that the Bible says it then.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he brings up arguments I've never made.
No, exactly.
I mean, in his own opening statement, he was talking about appealing to flat Earth. You know what I mean?
A religious belief, and we've heard that out of his own mouth when he starts talking about the origins of the universe, which he can't demonstrate. And just because his misunderstandings of physics, he wants to say, hey, that doesn't work according to natural law, but gravity is natural law, so he doesn't get to make that appeal. He's trying to say that a part of our scientific understanding is wrong without having to...
That's the problem. If you're claiming gravity to be natural law, you can demonstrate it to us constantly. We wouldn't have to ask you to demonstrate it. You would say, hey, let me quickly demonstrate natural law to you. When we open a soda can, we demonstrate the second law of thermodynamics, natural law. If we leave a piece of metal in the dirt for years, it starts eroding. Entropy, natural law. We can demonstrate everything which is natural law. We can demonstrate you require something to create to transfer. First law of thermodynamics. You have the sand to create the sand castle. There we go. We've demonstrated. All natural laws. What natural law has this guy provided? Well, gravity is a natural law, but I can't show you any demonstration of it. Then it's not a natural law. If you can't show demonstration of it, means it's not observed. Do you understand the problem here? A natural law is always observed. It's a natural tendency for things to happen in nature. That's what a natural law is. And if gravity is a natural tendency to be observed, we would see it. Where is it? Where? Oh wait, it doesn't exist. He was rude and insulting. Pissed me off when he called you a liar. Yeah, Bibu, good thing. I still want to know where I was lying, what I was being deceitful for, because all I was getting the whole time was telling me a liar and I don't understand, and yeah, stuff like that. Don't understand physics, yet I'm the one teaching the guy that says gas has no behavior.
Typical.
Yeah, projection. That's all it was.
Prove it wrong. We have observed in stars, on the planet, all over the place, that atmospheric pressure, and that's atmospheric pressure, not gas pressure, atmospheric pressure can exist without...
How much times does I do this for the people?
Everyone's going to say,
What is K, guys? What's the Boltzmann's constant? Ideal gas constant divided by Avogadro's number. Gas behavior. You ignorant moron. What does temperature do to gas? You ignorant moron. Just because they put acceleration due to gravity does not make it real. You ignorant moron. Very simple stuff. That's why I just don't get it when they come and tell me, oh, it's got nothing to do with the atmosphere. Okay, then what the hell is Boltzmann's constant then? What the hell is Avogadro's law then? What the hell is Dalton's law then? It's all gas laws. Boyle's law is the same law you use so you can measure your pressure gradients, you bloody morons. It's a container. It's sad that these people don't even know what a gas law is, but they want to tell us, we don't understand. Pressure gradients atmosphere has got nothing to do with gas pressure. It's gas. It's gas pressure. Just because you don't understand nitrogen is a gas, or argon is a gas, or CO2 is a gas, does not make us the ignorant ones. It makes you the morons, because you don't understand they are gases. It's the same as saying, how can I put this? You went and you trained to do karate. You got your black belt in karate. Now you go and you do boxing instead. Does that not make you trained in karate anymore just because you are doing boxing now? No. You still trained in karate. A gas will always be a gas, even if you want to ignore that gas has behavior. I'm going to insult the moron because he's a moron. It's a fact. He's kind of pissing me off with his ignorance and lack of intelligence in this discussion. So I'm going to berate him, just as he was berating me non-stop through the whole debate. Just like you guys.
I second that moron remark.
Thank you. It's not an ad hom because it's a fact. There's a difference between an ad hom or a fact. He's a moron, which is a fact. Not calling me an idiot or telling me you don't understand physics when I literally just explained to him what was going on. So I'm telling everybody.
Just the facts, ladies and gentlemen, just the facts.
Exactly. So I'm stating fact. Any person, I don't give you a scientist, physicist, or whatever. If you state atmospheric pressure is not gas pressure, you are a moron. Even if you're the president, I don't give a shit. You're a moron.
Did you read that debatable D said about to sort your sound or something?
Sorry?
Debatable D said about something about to sort out your sound to stop it reset.
I didn't see.
Use plus R and take
we already tried that, right? We already tried that. Oh, but that's another one. Okay, let's try again.
I think the bottom bit is different from what last.
Windows R, CPL, okay. Select Advanced tab. Where's Advanced tab? Deselect Exclusive Control.
Yeah, and then click apply.
It should be in here somewhere. Speakers, NVIDIA output. Input should be here somewhere. Input. Nope. All outputs. Sounds. Communications. See, communications do nothing. So there has to be an input set here. Properties maybe. No. Speakers. LG speakers. Digital output. Nope. Sorry, mates. Nothing.
Oh.
Here's my USB. Microphone, listen, levels. Let's get this one. Microphone. Set it to 100. Do you think it's going to stay that way though? I hope so. Disable automatically to save power. I'm gonna general. Okay, apply. Okay, let's see if it's going to stay that way now, guys. No, it just set itself again. Stay where you are. It's like a naughty child that's not listening.
The bit where he said recording tab.
It didn't. Well, I'm gonna play around with it, guys. Don't worry, we'll get it. It's not the time now because he's busy on a show. So I'll just every time just make it louder.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, like I said, I can get it. When you create plasma, you require a chamber, a container. And by the way, since when is on Earth we breathing in plasma? We're not breathing in plasma. Secondly, again, you have yet to demonstrate gas pressure without container. The one that's not understanding physics here is clearly you, Mark, not me. Secondly, yeah.
I love how he's laughing because it was the truth. Very, very much so, Mark. You don't understand the things you're talking about.
We've been showing, you've just been saying this whole time, now I believe. And you should stop going and making arguments on my behalf.
Thanks, Debatable D. I really appreciate your help, mate. I'll try to figure it out after when I got the time because it's just not going to work now in the stream, though.
The only reason is because of God. No, mate, I believed in God way before I became a flat earther. Secondly, like I stated, Archimedes' principle worked way long before your beloved gravity concept came to being. Thirdly,
I think that's just a laugh of cognitive dissonance. I think it's too painful and to bear the truth. I think that's why he's laughing like this. Because you can see it's a fake laugh, he's forcing it. It's actually sad.
Gravity is not a force, and it violates then F equals ma if you say it's not a force. So it's either force or it's not a force. Okay? Still, I'm keeping you to show me gravity holding down gas pressure without the need of containment. You can't do this. All gas laws still abide to your atmospheric belief. Dalton's law, Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, Charles Boole-Sack's law, it doesn't matter which gas law you want to.
Why is he writing all this down? There's nothing to write down. It's crazy.
Okay, they all require containment. Okay, it's as simple as that. So NASA is lying because space cannot exist the way they say it is to exist. You need containment.
30 seconds.
No, so all of these talk about gas pressure within a container, and that's the dodge that he's doing. That's what they're applied to. But they're not applied to atmospheric pressure, and that's where he's doing the dodge. And so there's only one person here lying, and that is Flatzoid, because he doesn't understand physics in the slightest.
So I'm lying because I don't understand physics. You know what's funny, though? Have you seen him try to correct me on anything that he says I'm lying and don't understand?
No, he's just full of it. He doesn't know what to say, I don't know.
Yeah, he's actually learning because you could see he's getting epiphanies the whole time through the debate. Because the usual guys he debates is like Whitsitt and stuff, and they don't understand gas behavior either. So every time he talks about science and gas behavior, they talk about dielectrics and nonsense, you know, the word salad stuff as usual, instead of just correcting him. So he's not used to someone that actually knows the subject coming up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Because the hilarious part, the hilarious part is a flat earther basically going, no, gravity's not real, you don't understand physics. Appeals to natural law when gravity is within natural law. And I never said gravity's a force, so that's a total straw man.
You did say it's a force, because he said gravity pulls the gas down. That requires it to be a force. So if it's not a force, then it can't do anything. That's the whole point where I said F equals ma. Shows you he doesn't really take everything in that I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a laugh of a man who lost it.
Gravity is the bending of space-time, which he suddenly says, oh no, it doesn't work throughout all of these things. So I wonder when Flatzoid is going to publish his paper on the non-existence of gravity and get a Nobel Prize. Remember earlier I went over Dunning-Kruger, where people think they have more expertise than they do. basically what we have here is the classic case of Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah, see, I'm pointing at him. Yeah, exactly. Did I ever claim to be an expert? No. Do I claim to have knowledge in the subject?
You should have immediately, sorry.
Yeah,
you should have immediately said to him to demonstrate bending space-time.
I was still trying to get him to demonstrate gas pressure out of containment. And that was our closing statements anyway, so that was the end of the debate. But yeah, he was showing his ignorance, and he's Dunning-Kruger, because everybody knows me. I do not claim to be an expert. Yes, I have knowledge in some subjects, but that doesn't mean I'm an expert. And I'm more than happy to concede if I'm wrong, if someone would just, for once in their life, stop saying, "You're wrong, you don't understand," and actually come and correct me and show me how I'm wrong, you understand? But they don't. They just don't. It's very simple. If I am wrong, come tell me how I'm wrong and come correct me. Then we will see who's wrong and who's right. Until then, you got no right to tell me I am got no knowledge in the subject, because you are not able to tell me how I'm wrong and correct me. Capish?
We have a person who is not trained in physics. So I'm appealing to physicists, people who do know what they're talking about. You're appealing to your own mistakes, ignorance, and misunderstandings of the subject of physics. So when's your Nobel Prize going to be awarded to you, Flatzoid?
Okay, again, you saying I am not a physicist or whatever, it's just appealing to authority. I don't have to care what authority says, just like you don't. I abide by natural laws like everybody. The argument here is we require gas pressure without containment. You're not understanding that all gas has to abide by gas behavior is not my misunderstanding, it's yours. And by the way, your atmospheric belief is based on Dalton's law, Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, and Charles Dirichlet's law, which are all gas behaviors. Now, you can tell me, oh, gravity, all you want. Again, you require force to have an acceleration, so therefore, no force.
What? Television, Flatzoid FE, OBE, MDEQ. I don't understand what you're saying there. To be honest, I have no idea.
Well, OB is Order of the British Empire.
Yeah.
MDE, not sure about that, but they're obviously titles of some sort. I think the MDE is meant to be MBE, Member of the British Empire, and he's put D by mistake.
I have no idea. Would be great if you can clarify that for us, mate.
The cooling of gases. I 100% agree. Gravity is not a force. I never even brought it up saying gravity is a force or not. All I said was, based on your model, it's not a force. So, if F equals ma is true, then gravity can't do any, can do it, but then it's not gravity. If it's
I am so confused now. Sorry, Spanish.
I know two of them. The first two is Order of the British Empire, then Member of the British Empire, but the rest, apart from the do-it-yourself, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, he's just putting loads of acronyms. I think he's got ground GPS there as well. GSP. Nice.
Moxie, yeah. What's the point in knowing about physics when you can just pretend to know? So yeah, that's what I would say about Mark. And that's what I say about every troll that comes in here. Just pretending to know. Because if you did actually know, if you say I'm wrong, you would be able to come correct me and then show me where I'm wrong. So show me where I'm wrong and then correct me. If you don't do that, then it shows you don't even have an argument. You're just saying nah and projecting your ignorance onto me.
Yeah, so it's funny that he appeals to natural laws and then can't even give a single equation for weight and no equation at all, because all of these laws are written up in science as equations.
And that's what I was trying to explain to him. If I give you your equation, you're going to say, oh, you see, there's G. You see, there's gravity. But that's just you guys strawmanning. Just you guys having a belief that G is gravity. I can change that G to unicorn farts. It doesn't matter. It's just the name given to the constant of acceleration. That's it. They don't get that. Things fall. But that's because they are denser than their medium around it. Not because something's pulling it down. I mean, the mainstream is, it's the cause of gravity. How are we supposed to combat that if we say, okay, we can give the same equation, we just change the G to something else? They're going to say, but no, you're just backing off of the globes. It all just works out to being, at the end of the day, your foundation is based on a belief. You can't demonstrate it. You put your belief into equation, therefore it means your belief is true. It's called circular reasoning. It's just affirming the consequent. That's it. Pressure is the force exerted on a surface. Peanut. If an object is forcing pressure onto a surface, it's forcing itself onto a surface. So yes, pressure in essence is a force. I can take gas pressure and I can pull or push things with it. So gas pressure is a force. Because what is a force? It's a tendency to be able to push or pull. Yeah. F equals ma, guys. Or is F equals ma wrong now? Yeah, I don't know where I've appealed to consensus, Black Ice. I don't know. It's crazy. The only one appealing to consensus is Mark Reid, yeah.
The problem with Flatzoid and other flat earthers is they don't want to provide equations because then their work can be checked. They're like a little boy going, hey...
Flataholics, your G constant is a constant of acceleration. So 9.8 meters per second squared is now not a real thing. Are you telling me that? Wow.
I've got all the answers, and then when the teacher says, hey, well, give me your actual calculations, they say, no, you're not allowed to check it. It's childish, it's unscientific, it is absolutely dishonest. Because
it's not science to begin with, Mark. I think this guy, if we ever had to discuss science, the guy wouldn't know how to get anywhere because it would probably be on what is a hypothesis for the whole hour.
Yeah.
Because they know as soon as they actually provide any calculations, they're going to be checked. And when they're checked, they're going to be wrong. And
Peanut, you're wrong, and we'll find no quote to conform. Okay, what is a force? Peanut? What is a force? A force pulls or pushes, correct? In other words, it's like inertia. What does gas pressure do? Can you push something with gas pressure? Can you pull something with gas pressure?
Yep.
I'll leave that in your mind.
I think deep down Flatzoid knows this, and that's why he desperately avoids giving any calculations whatsoever. So if you could give me the calculations of weight, that would be great, Flatzoid. Go for it. Give it to me now. I'll see.
Again, I don't require to give you anything because you haven't given what I've asked for this whole debate. I said I would give you...
Give it. Hey, Blue Paul, good to see you, mate. Thank you. It's so simple. I said I would give him something if he would give me the demonstration as asked for, like 20 times this whole debate. He refuses to give it to me, but he wants me to give something. I said I would give once he gives what I asked for.
Absolutely.
He says 9.8 meters per second squared is not a constant on Earth. It changes with latitude. Have you tested that yourself, Alex? Have you tested that? So you do know you're kind of going against the globe and confirming then people like Whitsitt with electromagnetism that gives the difference in constant, and yes, it's 9.8 meters per second squared is your constant. It's the how can I put it, the agreed upon constant for your globe, no matter latitude. Force is force. Dalla, that's a good one. Again, Peanut, I don't need to give a quote saying pressure is a force. It's demonstrable to be a force. If a gas canister explodes, the pressure will throw the person around the room. Correct? Yes. Now, what happens if you use a vacuum cleaner and you put it above, let's say, a piece of grain of sand? Will that grain of sand jump into the vacuum cleaner? Yes. It accelerated that sand particle just like it accelerated the person. Acceleration requires a force, aka gas pressure is a force. I don't care what you say about it, it's simple, demonstrable physics.
Equation on Archimedes' principle without gravity, if you demonstrate gravity, holding gas pressure, having gas pressure without containment. That's what you have.
I mean, it's not called pounds per square inch for nothing. It's the force per square inch.
Dude, but don't start. Pressure doesn't exist. Don't be an idiot.
Oh, is he doing a
He's just come in the second.
No,
That's the first I've seen him, and he's just come in saying pressure doesn't exist.
No, he's doing a what was that? Spurs chemo. Yeah, he's doing a Spurs chemo. I remember when he started saying pressure doesn't exist, I was like, oh.
Wow.
And I had to do demonstrations with him, showing when I take a compressor and I take, because he says it's just simply water or something. I don't know why, I don't remember what it was, but it was really idiotic. Yeah, nonsense. 9.8 meters per second squared is an average. Yeah, it's an average, agreed upon average on your globe, mate, aka your constant. That big G in your so-called Cavendish is the constant. Do you guys not know this? So guys, according to these guys, we can throw away your constant of gravity. Congratulations. Keep that in mind. Flataholics and Peanut says you don't have a constant in gravity, so therefore your gas does not get pulled down by 9.8 meters per second squared, and therefore no pressure gradients due to gravity. Congratulations.
Escaped from this whole debate. Now again, if you even know how weight works, it's not pulling. It's the pressure that's applied to a scale. A scale works with load cells. It works on pressure. It's pressure mediation. That's it. It's got nothing to do with gravity, even though your belief says it's gravity. There's no pulling force, so therefore it cannot be gravity giving weight.
No, the force is not called gravity. Gravity is not a force. You guys are really, really wrong, dupapoons. Gravity is seen as the warping and bending of space and time in the fourth dimension, aka a mathematical construct that can never be observed.
Yeah.
It's simply the pressure applied to the scale. So please provide your demonstration of gas pressure without containment.
Exactly what? Pressure is the measure of how much force is acting. So therefore, gas pressure is a force. It's the gas forcing itself. Gas pressure equals a force. They don't get this.
Yeah, so that's a complete misunderstanding of what...
I mean, they're actually nonsensical because they're claiming columns of air, which is gas pressure, force, and then saying it's not. It's sad. What do they think PSI is?
What gravity is. It's not supposed to be a force. It's the bending of space-time that causes things to fall towards objects of mass. Like, just because Flatzoid doesn't understand it doesn't mean it's not real. Now, I've gone on to say, hey, I can demonstrate it within a demonstrate gravity on objects within a vacuum chamber where there is no gas. And he says, no, that's not good enough. It has to be a gas. So
yeah, it's a false equivalence. Gas behavior is totally different than a bowling ball's behavior. What's the difference? A bowling ball doesn't move unless you move it. A gas will always move. A gas never stops moving. That's why.
For some reason, Flatzoid thinks that gravity doesn't work on molecules the same. He thinks that for some reason gas is in its own special category. So we talk about being against natural laws. The whole idea that there are effects that he uses special pleading for to say, hey, gravity doesn't affect gas. For some reason, it's all up to gas behavior, but doesn't actually, like, he wants me to demonstrate.
So, it's the agreed upon constant based on an average, Peanut. Should I teach you some more about your religion? This constant came from the beloved Cavendish so-called experiment. That's not an experiment. When Cavendish tried to calculate, not measure, the density of Earth.
Gravity, but only on gas, is just ridiculous. Like, the whole idea, he is so dishonest, and he will not give equations. He won't give equations because he knows it's wrong. And yes, it is up to him, because I said that gravity is part...
So making my point, Flataholics, you guys don't have a constant G then, so then no gravity force then. Congratulations. Wait. It's actually a good question, Face Reality. What's the average gravity that makes a helium balloon fall?
Yeah.
The average is agreed upon based on your constant. That's what it's based on. And you can take that same argument and you can say, okay, if you're at the North Pole or something, you're supposed to have less gas pressure. Do we have less gas pressure because you're further up? I mean, no, you're supposed to have more gas pressure because you're closer to the Earth, correct? So at the equator, you're supposed to have less gas pressure. So, but why is it still 14.7 psi then? Anybody figure that out? If it changes the latitude, why is it exactly the same? Oh, it's because your religion has too many holes and you can't accept it. That's why. Exactly, equations aren't physical.
Have a calculation of weight, and he said, no, it isn't. So I said, well, give me your calculation of weight. He has made a claim that it's not part of it, but will not actually back that claim. And that is why you should not believe a word he says. He's lying.
So before I let you go on, Flatzoid, I'm going to give...
How can you agree on an average? It's an average. Easy. You have an average of multiple, let's say, observations or whatever. So you agree, let's make an average of that. It's called the accumulated data average. Let's say you did 10 quote-unquote experiments and the data came out. You put them all together and the data averages out. That's your average. Not hard to understand, guys.
Give each of you one more round of back and forth, and then I'm going to let you both have closing statements, tell people what you got going on the interwebs. But right back to you, Flatzoid, for your last of the open discussion.
Thank you very much, Amy. Yeah, it's very simple. I said I can give you an equation if you've done what I've asked first this whole debate. Demonstrate to me gas pressure without a container.
It's my closing statement. He talks between me and says dodge.
I can literally take that G constant and change it to P for pressure if I wanted to. It would give the same results. Your gravity belief is only the ideal that it's pulling mass attracting down to mass. And I 100% agree, gravity is not a force. So therefore, F equals ma is then false, according to your belief. And just call me dishonest and ad homing me constantly is not showing good for your cause. It's just showing you cannot demonstrate your belief system to be real. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Flatzoid, for your last back and forth, and then Mark Reid handing it over for your last back and forth.
Yeah, so he hasn't shown anything, because when you ask him how you calculate the equation, he won't be able to tell you what P is or how to...
I want to know how it's empirical, Flatolonics. Show us how it's empirical. Please go ahead. This I want to see. Gravity has never been scientific to be empirical. So I want to know how it's empirical. This should be very interesting.
Calculated at all, and he's not giving any kind of readings or measurements for his equation. So I'll look forward to your paper being published, Flatzoid, about how you calculate weight without gravity. I'm sure you've done tremendous work on it. As I pointed out, flat earthers have not produced anything of note in the entire time they've been around, and Flatzoid is no exception. He does not understand physics. He doesn't understand the role that gravity plays in physics. He doesn't understand anything about it. He's just basically making assertions and then requesting unproducible things because he knows you need the mass of a planet. But we have observed plasma.
I gotta say, he's saying it's unproducible things, but he knows you need the mass of a planet. Okay, so in your belief, where are we? We're in your planet, correct? So you got the mass of your planet. So why is it not been able to be demonstrated, Mark?
Else feels be patronising. That's what he's like, isn't it?
I mean, it's so simple. Throw some CO2 or sulfur hexafluoride on the floor and see if it's going to just stay there forever. That's it. It's as simple as that. It will not happen, guys.
In stars, we have observed the Earth using gravity to pull it down. We've observed gravity. If a container is holding it, then what I want Flatzoid to do is show me the container. Where's your proof of the container? Give me the container. Where is it? Give me a piece of it.
And with that, we are going to conclude the open discussion. We're about to be moving into the Q&A, so tag me.
Gravimeters measure the pressure due to density under the ground. Yeah, because there's different densities of things under the ground. Yeah, density differences, exactly, Dala. I mean, how do you think the miners use gravimeters? They find difference of densities, aka pressures, and that's how they get their reading. So they know there's a gold mine or whatever to go and mine. There's gold underneath here because of density, not gravity. Just because they give it the name gravity or gravimeter doesn't make it gravity, guys. I mean, I don't know how we can get it in you guys' head that because you call something a gravity and have a belief doesn't make it real. It doesn't make it real. I can say Superman is my brother as much as I want. It's not going to make it real. Just as you can call everything gravity, it's not going to make it real.
Carlisle, so what's your cryptic name then? If you've got the applause is Carlisle, what's yours?
Flatzoid.
It's got to end in L. It's got to end in the L.
Exactly, Dala. PhD Tony did experience himself with that.
With your chats, questions, and super chats at Amy.
Nice way to misrepresent. I never said density and pressure is the same thing.
Newman. However, Flatzoid, I want to hand it over to you one last time. If you would like anything.
I think it gets dark wherever everybody lives, actually. Unless you're living at the Arctic Circle, where there's daylight constantly, and not sunlight, because you don't see the sun. There's a difference between daylight and sunlight, guys. And by the way, that is more for the flat earth model and the firmament than it is for the globe, because it's internal reflection.
Final to say on the subject and tell people what you got going on.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just a quick thought. Thank you, Mark, again for this debate. It wasn't actually a challenge for me, sorry to say. Just ad homing and call me, you understand? Just shows you level of ignorance.
Just listen to what I'm going to say again, because this is such a true statement. I'm going to stick by this 100%.
Just a quick thought. Thank you, Mark, again for this debate. It wasn't actually a challenge for me, sorry to say. Just ad homing and call me, you understand? Just shows you level of ignorance to the subject. Yes, when you talk about gas behavior, I'm sorry, I'm having my closing statement. When we have gas pressure, we are talking about gas behavior and gravity then, as you put it. So having a false equivalence of a bowling ball is not going to work. Secondly, I have shown an actual demonstration and got you to actually concede in omniscient that you can have pressure gradients in a container, which you said earlier wouldn't work. I have stated natural laws which are in nature always accepted and always provable. You have appealed to a belief system that's not demonstratable. By the way, lower ground should have stronger gravitational pull. So therefore gravity should be stronger at the bottom of mass, and therefore gas would always just pull there, and we will always die because we would just the whole time breathe CO2 because of gravity. It's just more mass attracts more mass, correct? So no. But thanks again. Yeah, I'm just going to say I do have a channel, so yeah, do look me up. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so very much, Flatzoid, and we're about to go into the Q&A, but Mark Reid, the floor is all yours for your closing statement and what you got going on.
Yeah, so we can see in sort of containers that we do have gases separate. There's a gravity method for separating gas. In fact, fluids do exactly the same thing. It's just that gas does mix a lot more because the...
Fluids, aka liquids, are not the same as gases. Gas behavior can be explained in fluid dynamics, but it doesn't make it a liquid, Mark. So a false equivalence.
Particles are less, there's more space in between the particles, meaning it can mix a lot more. But we do have separation, and we do have separation of fluid. And you know, this sort of ad hoc. Flatzoid was been saying exactly the same thing, that I don't know the physics. I'm not appealing to my knowledge of the physics. I'm appealing to physicists' knowledge of the physics who absolutely refute Flatzoid and can explain all of this. I never claim to be an expert, but
appealing to consensus again and appealing to authority again. That's all he does, guys. Actually has nothing.
Flatzoid isn't an expert either. In fact, he's suffering from Dunning-Kruger, which is sort of thinking he's an expert when he's not.
You can see me on screen. I'm not saying I'm an expert. So, an outright lie from Mark. Congratulations.
He doesn't understand that gravity is a natural law. And he's sort of saying, hey, it's outside natural law. What he is describing is outside natural law because gravity is a natural.
Since when is describing first law of thermodynamics and second law of thermodynamics outside natural law? Debatable D, gas is a fluid, not a liquid. There's a difference. Fluid dynamics of gas is not fluid dynamics of liquid. The behaviors are similar, but gas is unbonded, liquid is bonded. They still have different behaviors to them. I think he's his own barber, guys.
Law, that's what it is. So the entire thing is he's just projecting. He's sort of saying, hey, you don't know the physics. He doesn't know the physics. The physicists all say that he's wrong. He's dodged completely his NASA line. He just wants a flat earth debate. That's all he's after. So he's been really dishonest in the way that he does.
My goodness, he's the one that brought up flat earth.
I haven't even said flat earth this whole debate. The whole debate. I didn't even say it. He has. But I'm the one that wanted to bring it up. Gas pressure. Gas pressure. Do you know what gas pressure is, Peanut? Not pressure, gas pressure. Just pay attention. Hey, Brian, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Always good to see you.
Ask for a debate, sort of saying, hey, we'll discuss one topic. Oh, I want to discuss flat earth now. So, you know, just absolutely, I don't see why I should trust him at all, because seriously, this is supposed to be a topic about whether NASA is lying, and it turned out to be just a flat earth debate.
No, the debate was NASA is deceiving us, and I gave my arguments. You, on the other hand, gave your opening trying to push it towards flat Earth and saying we should trust them, not giving an argument on why they weren't deceiving us. Yeah, thank you, Brian. I figured out it was this setting, but it keeps going back down for some odd reason. But it's good to have you in, mate. An expert would not say that pressure is a force. Again, Peanut. Gas pressure. Gas pressure. Not just gas or not just pressure. Gas pressure.
Which is obviously what he wanted, so, you know.
No, definitely didn't say I wanted to debate flat Earth. Never ever brought up the word flat Earth. Once his opener brought up flat Earth, he was pushing flat Earth the whole debate.
Yep.
Water molecules are not bonded. Are you telling me water is not a bonded? So liquid, it's not liquid now?
It must be a gas.
Wow. Mark in a nutshell, I will never demonstrate what I believe, but I will put words in Keith's mouth and attack that instead. That is to a T, 100%, Derek. To a T. That is what happened.
And all right, gentlemen, thank you so very much.
And just one last point. I noticed that he never addressed a single one of my points. We went through all of his points, never addressed one of mine. Not one.
Okay, let's do this.
You didn't have any.
Never addressed one of these guys. Okay, this is now his opening statement that just finished.
3.1 is about to be upon us.
Remember what he just said. I never addressed one of these things.
Only our tickets on sale right now, but if you can't come to Texas in person, just for a single $1, you can get that live stream feed and come see more great...
Again, gas pressure causes an acceleration, Peanut.
debates. But again, we're handing it off now to both gentlemen as we go into our 52-hour minutes of open dialogue. The floor is both of yours.
Okay, I'm going to start now.
Great.
Well, I ended the thing, so you go, Flatzoid.
Okay, sure.
Remember what he just said? I didn't give up one of his arguments. I didn't rebut one argument. What am I doing now?
You start us off.
Okay, first I'm going to say, remember the debate topic is NASA deceitful? Trust has got nothing to do for if they are deceitful.
There's the one already. His one argument was we need to trust. Correct?
So that's already actually wrong, because you don't need to trust someone if you're trying to figure out if they're deceitful or not. It's their intentions which makes them deceitful. That's what deceit means. I did pick up a few points there on where you were talking about people are employed and whatever, so therefore not lying. Let's put it this way.
That's argument number 2. That he says I didn't give any rebuttals to his arguments.
You get a lot of Muslim mosques that employ people worldwide. You would agree that, in your opinion, Muslim is not real, correct?
That's correct, yeah. I don't think it is, well, I mean, I know, like, sort of Islam is real. I don't think their beliefs are real.
Right, yeah, I would agree with you. So, I mean, to me as well, the foundations of Islam is deceitful because of their morals they stand for and everything. So to me, that's also. But that comes to, so we can say now, based on that same equivalence, they employ many people, so therefore they are not deceitful. So that goes against the argument that you're saying, okay, they have this much employees.
Yes, Peanut, gas pressure causes an acceleration. Have you never ever seen a gas canister explode before? If a person stands on it, what happens to them? Do they get flown away? by the acceleration from the gas pressure? Or how about if someone has a open air valve and that's strong enough? Can it push you away? Gas pressure is what? Causing you to accelerate. Get with it, mate. Really.
And everything. And now we can go to how could everybody lie?
That's the third.
Well, it's actually simple. It's compartmentalized. If you're going to work in a...
Anyway, I just literally proved his statement wrong at the end. He said I haven't debated one of his rebuttals. I debated them all. I rebutted them all in the beginning. And then we moved on to my first one, which he never, ever actually demonstrated to be shown false. Yeah, it was very simple stuff. Thanks all for coming. Unfortunately, the stream is probably going to have to end here because the power is going to go off in 10 minutes.
Good.
But I really have to thank you, everybody, for coming.
Absolutely. No
Yeah, the
problems at
sound
all.
is better tonight than last night. Last night was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dalla, but like I said, if they accept gravity not as a force, then they can't accept F equals ma. If they accept F equals ma, then they cannot call gravity Einsteinian. So they can't pick and choose. They're very selective in what they choose. Either F equals ma is true or it's false. They have to choose. I mean, force equals mass to accelerate. That's what gas pressure does. The force of the gas, pressure, causes the mass to accelerate. AKA, gas pressure is a force. And I don't need a citation to say that because it's demonstrable. It just shows you guys have pseudo-science physics and not actual scientific physics. That's why you work with things like theoretical physics today, because you need to have a belief in how it's supposed to work based on your religion, not on reality. But yeah, thanks all guys for coming. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the super chats. You guys rock. I see we ended up with 131 votes. Am I too hard on Mark? Yes, 44%. No, 56%. I don't think I was hard enough of him, correct? So that's why I just upped my game now with this one, calling him a moron. I did it. I upped my game. But thanks for coming. PJ, Lotion, any last words before we close?
God, it's just the same as last night, isn't it? It was just full of, like you said, full of ad homs. He didn't answer any of your queries whatsoever. I mean, that's what he was saying about you, and it's total projection. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like I said, there was no challenge there whatsoever. You thought it would have broke a little sweat at least on you.
Wait, I have to stop here. Whoa. I have to go back. Look here, guys. Pressure requires area. You're getting it? So we have gas pressure, so therefore area, containment. Flataholics, are you denouncing your globe now? Sorry, I just had to say that. Thanks for that. Guys, Flataholics just got it. Pressure requires area. Woo! Faciality, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. Cool. Yeah, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. That was...
Duper says perspective does not cause things to disappear bottom up. Perspective can be overcome with a telescope or telephoto lens.
I think we'll have to probably be doing a stream on that again because it seems they keep forgetting stuff. Bible peer review. That's what you need to stop bashing other religions though. Bible isn't exclusive. Christianity is not a religion though. Heliocentrism is a religion. Just have to correct you there, mate.
Agreed.
So yeah, thanks all for coming. Really appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think it was fun. Thank you all for being here. Really, really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. May the pressure be with you. Well, yeah, many blessings and may the pressure with you. Cheers.